This exchange exploded fast. One lawmaker accused Democrats of defending chemical castration of minors, and Jamie Raskin fired back, calling it misinformation. What followed was a tense, raw clash that exposed just how divided Congress really is on this issue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just be real quick for the American citizens and read the legislation. In General Section 116 of Title 18, United States Code is amended to read as follows: genital and bodily mutilation of a minor, chemical castration of a minor, genital or bodily mutilation, except as provided in subsection G. Whoever in any circumstance described in subsection D knowingly performs or attempts to perform genital or bodily mutilation on another person who is a minor shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Chemical castration of a minor, except as provided in subsection G. Whoever in any circumstance described in subsection D knowingly chemically castrates a minor shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Certain offenses related to female genital mutilation, except as provided in subsection G. Whoever in any circumstances described in subsection D knowingly facilitates or consents to female genital mutilation of a minor or transports a minor for the purpose of the performance of female genital mutilation on such minor. I cannot believe that we literally have members of Congress, all of which are Democrats. Now, I'm not saying all Democrats support these procedures being done on minors, but this is ridiculous. These are minors. These are minors. And all we're saying is that you can't chemically castrate a minor and that you can't perform an irreversible procedure on a minor that mutilates their genitals. That's all it is. I can't believe that you defend your position on that. It's ridiculous. And to say that it stops puberty blockers, it's just not true. It's just not true. That's not what the legislation says, Mr. Raskin. It's not. Does the legislation say it stops puberty blockers, Mr. Raskin? That was your testimony, correct?
When you
Did you testify that it stops puberty blockers?
Yes, and it does.
No, it does not.
It does.
That is not, it absolutely does not.
When you talk about chemical castration, what are you referring to?
It does not stop puberty blockers. It doesn't.
You're saying that
stops,
this, you're
it
saying
stops
that,
chemical castration.
Well,
It stops chemical castration. That is very different than the use of a puberty blocker to slow down someone who starts puberty early.
you're saying this would allow puberty blockers for the treatment of kids with gender dysphoria?
I'm not saying it allows it for gender dysphoria. I'm saying that your testimony is false. It does not stop puberty blockers.
But forgive me, I think you misunderstood my testimony. What I said was this would ban the use of puberty blockers for people experiencing gender dysphoria, and that is a drug commonly used for kids who are not transgender, because if they have early onset of puberty. So in other words, you're going to allow it to one population, but you're not going to allow it to another.
Okay, but it does not stop puberty blockers for early onset.
You think the family should be able to decide that? I agree with you in both cases.
I do not agree that a family should allow their child to be chemically castrated, nor do I agree that they should allow genital mutilation.
It's the exact same drug. It's the exact same drug. You're saying you would allow it for one purpose, but not for another.
It's not the exact same use. It's not the same use.
Well, thank you in any event for the correction, because I stated it properly.
I disagree with you, but you can, I yield the remainder of my time.
Gentleman yields the remainder of his time. Now recognize the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Scanlon, for her time of question.
And I would first yield some time to the ranking member.
Yeah, I just want to clarify for the record, when I said I did 14 town halls meetings, it's been this year alone. And not once did anyone bring up any of this stuff. They all brought up, they want us to focus in on healthcare. They want us to focus in on the issue of affordability, not this bullshit. And I'm going to tell you, what this is all about is trying to get people to look over here, so so that they don't notice that you're doing nothing on healthcare, that you're doing nothing to address the issue of affordability. Let's talk about the transgender community. I think it's a hateful thing to do, and again, I don't think the people are buying it. People know what's going on here. They know you're not doing anything on healthcare, and by the way, and that's the reason why Trump's numbers are in the toilet right now. I thank the gentlelady. I yield back.
Thank you. I have to say I'm kind of astonished at the attempts to characterize the issue of treatment.
This moment wasn't just a policy disagreement. It was a collision between emotion, ideology, and legal interpretation. Austin Scott framed the bill as a simple protection of minors from irreversible harm, repeatedly insisting it does not ban puberty blockers. But Jamie Raskin pushed back hard, arguing that the language effectively bans puberty blockers for transgender youth while still allowing the same drugs for other medical uses. That contradiction became the heart of the fight. What made this exchange so explosive wasn't just the topic. It was the accusation that Congress is weaponizing culture war language to distract from issues voters actually raise: healthcare, affordability, and economic pressure. This wasn't a quiet committee debate. It was a warning sign of how deeply fractured Congress is and how emotionally charged legislation becomes when definitions, medicine, and politics collide.